provided to produce a working drawing of a proposed plant design for a stated location. So there's 3 sections to this, yeah? So number 1 says, provide pictorial evidence of a room setting for your intended design and state the position of the design within the room. So basically you've got to choose a room that you're going to make a planted design for. It can be one at home, it can be a fictional one that you get off the internet. You have to provide a picture for the room, yeah? So the first step is you're going to choose a room to make a design for, yeah? Then you're going to have to provide a picture. So, like I said, this can be one off of the internet, or if you want to use a real room, then you can just take a picture of the room, yeah? And you have to state where the design is going to be positioned in the room, okay? Sorry?
Could it be the passage?
Yeah, mark it out on the picture, write a little narrative. Where is the design? Got it. So what I've done is I've grabbed Elaine's level 2 folder. So just to give you like a sort of idea. So here she's chosen a room and she's just got a picture off the internet of it, yeah? See, she's just provided a picture and then she's wrote a little bit about the room. So basically, where the room is, whether it's like home, office, just a little bit about the room, yeah? And then she's just done a little bit here about where the design is going to go, but it would be good if you could just show on your picture where the design is going to go. It doesn't have to be a design that sits on a table, it could be like a hanging design if you're choosing something, you know, but just make sure that you write where the design is going to go and why it's going to go there, yeah? So that's basically it for part 1. So you're just choosing a room, provide a picture of the room, and writing where the design is going. It might be an idea to state why, if you're looking for the higher grades as well, why did you choose this room, yeah? And why did you decide that the planted design is going to go there? So just rather than just saying, like, this is the room I've chosen, give a little bit of reason as to why. And then with the planted design as well, just state why you decided to put it in that position, yeah? Number 2, second part, is state the environmental conditions within the room. For example, temperature, light levels, etc. And produce a labelled sketch of a suitable planted design. So basically, this is where you have to write a little bit more about the room that you've chosen. So you've got to write about the temperature of the room, the lights in the room, and then if you're looking for like the higher grades, go into like a little bit more detail, like talk about drafts, talk about direct sunlight, shades, you know, bits and pieces like that. So you're not talking about the design here, you're talking about the room itself. So you're not talking about anything to do with the actual design that you're proposing. This is just the conditions of the room, okay? And then you need to produce a labelled sketch of a suitable planted design. So this is where you're going to choose what plants you think are suitable, and this is where you're going to sketch a proposed design. So now you have to think about using plants that are going to suit the conditions of your room. Okay? So there's no point using, you know, very soft plants and things like that if you're going for quite a high temperature room. So that's where you have got to look at the different plants and things like that that could suit what you've done. Now,
how many plants you've got to do?
Sorry?
How many plants?
Well, it depends on what your planted design is. That's an example of a labelled sketch. You can see she has done quite a simple planted design in a container, yeah? So this is one that you design yourself and label. But it probably would be good to just write down or do pictures of the plants you've chosen, yeah? So, and just state why you've chose the plants. So she's just done a little picture of the plants here, just wrote a little bit about why she chose that plant. So it could be, so it could just be obviously you chose it because it suits the conditions of the room, you know, what sort of, especially if you're looking for the higher grades here and the distinctions and things, it is good to talk about the light, the temperature, the watering of these plants and how they would all come together. So how they're all suitable for the same container. So what plants and why. But remember, this does have to be a labelled sketch. So a nice big sketch with clear labelling on it, yeah? And remember, you are going to be marked in accordance to whether the plants actually are suited, whether they go together, whether they're going to grow well together, and whether they are suitable for the room you've chosen. So you do need to do a little bit of research.
But if we, you know, the photo was a dinner, it was the same family,
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Yeah, you just need to make sure that you're not just picking plants out of the air and putting them together. There's got to, you know, look at them being from the same sort of plant groups. So the plants books that we've got, which I'll get out if any of you want to have a look through, they're very good for, you know, showing you what plants grow from the same groups and everything. So if you look at like the bromelain family and things like that, make sure you're choosing from the same group so they grow well together, yeah? Is everybody clear on that second part? Yeah? So basically, you're writing about the room, the conditions of the room, you're doing a labelled sketch of your proposed design, and you're stating what plants you're using and why you're using them, yeah? It also might be a good idea to talk about the container, because obviously, the container, if you're using a decorative piece to go on a coffee table, it might be an idea to, you know, state what sort of container you're using, and then also look at things like drainage and things like that as well, yeah? Now, the third part, explain why the material chosen is suitable for the intended environment and the effects of environmental conditions on photosynthesis, osmosis, respiration, transpiration and tropicants.
That's a long much, isn't it?
So that's all a long word.
Picking them up in a dictionary, them words.
Okay,
Do you know what, I'm going to just do what we've done. Another pot we've done already. Just a bit much.